Welcome everyone to the show. I'm your host Don Vic, and IG just walked in.
Your co-host IG.
We in the building. You already know what it is, um, guys. You know, today is actually a rainy day, but it's actually a good day, right? So today we have a special guest coming on the show. We had her husband here on the show like a month ago, and today we have her on the show, and we're going to bring her on the show. We're going to talk to her. She goes by Theresa Lynn Zaino. She's a entertainment agent, artist. This woman is all over the place. Okay, she also have a talk show. She's a martial art 8 degree. Y'all gotta be careful with her, but I'm trying to tell y'all gonna get in trouble messing with this lady. So we're gonna bring her on the show. We're gonna talk to her and find out exactly what she got going on and what she's doing at this present day. So everyone, please welcome Theresa Lynn Zaino to the show. Woo, woo.
Hey,
Welcome.
How you
thank
doing?
you.
How you
I'm
doing?
great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming aboard the show. We appreciate that. So
Oh, my pleasure.
it's amazing the fact that we had your husband here a few weeks ago, and now we have you aboard the show as well. It's an honor for us to have you both on the show. We know that you guys been busy you guys are working, doing a lot of things, and we also know that you're the boss. You're the boss. You're the boss. So let's start off by telling us exactly what it is that you do.
Oh, let's see. Wife, mother, housekeeper. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Well, I'm a theatrical talent agent. I'm a union talent agent with SAG-AFTRA, and I'm a
Right.
Florida State talent agent. And I also say I'm an entertainment agent because I've been in the business for many years. And we have an entertainment network that I'm the agent for, and which on our production company, Living the Dream Productions, which produces our network, MSA BTV Network, which is short for Martial Arts Showbiz TV Network, because we started off in martial arts entertainment. Right. And then we gravitated to more mainstream entertainment. And then, we have Danny's hardcore cooking show on the Hardcore Cooking Network. So, but, I've been a promoter since 1988, promoting
Right.
entertainment. So that's, my roots. So I like to promote my talent, which it's kind of different because most talent agents don't do that. Right. But again, I have a promoter background. And, I have my own podcast, Action Entertainment Hollywood News. Danny's a co-host of that. So, I also represent the Kahana Stunt and Film School as an agent, but I mainly represent our networks, our production company, and then, I have talent that I represent as well. And I'm a martial artist. I'm sorry,
Artist. What type of artist? Like you draw? Do you sing?
No, I'm a martial artist.
Yeah. Wow. So now that you say martial artist,
I do have art skills.
Yeah, I see that. I
come from a family of artists, so yeah.
Okay. So we know in 1984, you hold you done it for like 35 years, right?
Right. Yes.
Right. And in 84, you held a degree, black belt. So you're a black belt.
Yeah, I'm an 8th degree black belt now.
Jesus.
8th degree?
8th.
No. How high does it go? Does it go any higher than that?
It goes to 10th.
Wow. So you're very, very skillful. Dangerous.
Yeah.
Hey,
I have to thank.
No wonder she's the boss.
Yeah.
I have to thank Danny for that. He got me into the arts, and it becomes a way of life.
Right. So Danny was doing it before you guys got together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, how long was he doing it before you guys?
He's been doing it since he's like 15.
Oh,
And
wow.
and then I met him a year after he got out of the service,
Right.
which is like what was that? He got out in 82. I met him in 83. He got me into the martial arts around 1985-ish,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, in '85 to 2006, you competed on state national level.
Yeah, we had well, we have an awesome school. We still practice. All of our black belts get together. But all the years that we started off years ago teaching at the YMCA and the school boards, and then we owned some commercial karate schools. And we had one of the top teams in the United States called Team Pepsi. It was sponsored by Pepsi.
Right.
Originally Pepsi Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and then they
Yes.
changed to Pepsi Americas. So we did that, and I was part of the team. I was a coach,
Right.
and then I competed too. Yeah.
What's the best part about martial arts for you that you love the most about it?
I think it gives you confidence in yourself, and just knowing how to defend yourself. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in a situation, but you sure know a hell of a lot more than if you didn't know it.
Right.
So, and it's about the element of surprise anyway. So,
Yeah.
if you don't look like you know anything, it's actually better.
Well, I have a brother. He's been doing it for over 15 years. Taekwondo, and
Okay.
It's unbelievable. He does, from all ages, and he's
Okay.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I respect it.
So how do you guys,
You probably did everything that you could possibly do in the
Yeah, he
martial
has.
arts.
right. How do you guys prepare your students for a fight?
Well, I mean, we don't have a school anymore, a commercial
Okay.
school, I just want to make that clear because I get contacted all the time like that. But we have black belts and we work out, and train and, so we have a federation now, the Go-Juru Federation. You can find that on American, Japanese, and Okinawan Go-Juru Federation on Facebook. But, years ago when we would do that, preparing, we would, it's all about practicing and your techniques and always doing it to where it becomes natural. And,
Right.
you're not thinking about what you're doing in a fight on the street or in a fight in a tournament. It just comes natural.
Right, because I mean, it's believed that you cannot use any of the,
Skills.
what you've learned, any of your skills during the fight, because it's like, it's like a weapon,
Oh, she is a weapon. She's a walking weapon.
It's too late now.
we don't put it out there, Theresa. We don't put it out there.
Well,
So-
I'm proud of my, all my accomplishments that I've
Yes,
done.
I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. With everything that I've read about you and everything that you've accomplished, and still accomplishing and still moving forward. After everything I've read on you, I mean, I would have been tired, exhausted. I would have threw the gloves up. I would have been like, I retired. No, so much because you also auditioned for television commercials at one point.
Right. At one point before I was an agent, I actually was a talent looking for work,
Okay.
so I would, go on commercial auditions and stuff like that. Yes.
Okay.
And
That's $100,000 a pop.
Hey, who?
well, a national commercial.
Yo.
Oh!
Oh!
I was about to say, you got a ghost over there?
But it's funny how he fucked up with that microphone.
The show, but he is the talent.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
So was acting at one point in your life, was that something that you wanted to do?
Yeah, I loved it. I used to, my mom says I was kind of a goofball when I was younger because me and my sister would put on plays for the family and just act silly, and you could get away with it because you were acting.
You're in court.
Right.
So and I was in the chorus
Dance.
Right,
for about
chorus.
8 years, and I did jazz dancing and stuff like that. Yeah.
So yeah, you was a member of Jupiter Warriors chorus,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah,
Yes.
in high school,
Right. Yeah.
and you was also a dental assistant, right? At one,
Yeah, after I did, I got into college, I just kind of went a different path. I wasn't really quite sure what I wanted to do. And my
right.
parents were kind of like, pushed me kind of into that, like parents do. And actually, when I met Danny, I was in nursing school and he was actually a police officer.
Hey,
And then we just kind of totally went a different way with that, just he decided, he realized he didn't like that and I didn't like what I was doing, and we just got really at that point heavily into our martial arts, and we were doing entertainment at the time. We just didn't realize it because we used to put on all these martial arts shows.
Yeah, we dealt
Yeah.
drugs too. No,
Man,
All right, now I'm gonna have to put him back in his cage.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
Sick. Okay.
No, but like our manager, Kim Kahana, was like, you were doing entertainment and you didn't even realize you were doing it. You were booking shows. You didn't even realize you were doing it, because we used to throw these big martial arts events. And we had like 3 and 4 day events where we had a night of champion show and we would have comedians come on, because we were kind of trying to get away from the regular, just, I don't want to say boring, but same old shows. So in between the martial arts competitions, we would maybe like a comedian would come on or a singer would come on. We had this one guy, he was called Boston's own Rodney. He looked just like Rodney Dangerfield. It was hilarious.
Really?
Yeah. And so we because we enjoyed that. And so, that was entertainment. I hired people to come to our event. I was booking events, so I was doing all this, not realizing what I was doing until I actually got into the mainstream entertainment industry and realized, hey, we have had a background in this for many years, it was just more towards martial arts. But I feel kind of like we developed the phrase martial arts entertainment, so to speak, because we put more entertainment into the martial arts, made it more of a show.
Right.
Even though we had hardcore fighters too, we could do it all basically,
Right. So
and that made it easy to transition into entertainment.
Right. So have you guys put together a film about martial arts where you guys are actually, actors in the film, or is that something that you guys got in the works? Maybe.
Well, we have a documentary that we've been working on for over 10 years.
Okay.
It's called Born to Compete, the Zainos. And it is about our family in the martial arts. And it's kind of, as we've been working on it, it's kind of taken on some different avenues. It started off being a certain way and it's kind of grown, more of how Danny was more like a Michael Jackson dad when it came to our kids with training.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Wait. Michael Jackson. How is that? Was he like
very? Oh my God, he was very strict.
Okay.
If they had a show to train for, it was 6 days a week.
Wow.
2 to 3 hours of training. And then even if they were in other sports, they had to come home from that and go into the training. There's no excuses. So, but it all talks about his PTSD from the Army, and some of it played into that because he didn't realize he was being as strict as he was. Wow. He was, Army trained,
right,
and just for that one way, Yeah.
So when you said Michael Jackson, the first thing I said to my head, I said, "Wow." He was like, "Put your hands up, jump into the floor."
You do that pretty good.
Right?
Theresa, put your head up. Woo!
Yeah.
That's so funny. But that's awesome.
He's an agent.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. See, I said you did that pretty good.
So that's amazing. So you guys also have a cooking show.
Right. Hardcore cooking with Danny Zaino.
Right.
Right.
And you guys cook all types of meals here on the show.
Well, let me tell you what it's about. Really,
Okay.
it's a comedy cooking show
Yes,
with the
because
backdrop of cooking. Okay,
Oh, yes.
but we have different shows that we produce. Okay, we have some shorter shows, like we just put one out on corned beef and cabbage. It's like a 12-minute show. We have longer shows. They go up to 30 minutes. We have our comedy variety specials where we bring in celebrity guests. They usually run longer. They have 2 or 3 commercials in them. But they're all based around comedic, even if it's just one of the, I want to say, regular shows, because they're really not regular, but
Right.
the ones where he's, just being himself, which is funny, and I'm kind of in the background, but they're all based around comedy or a comedic theme with a
Right.
backdrop of cooking. So,
Okay. So you guys write for the show, or you guys just kind of like freestyle it? Or who does the writing? You do the
no,
writing?
Danny comes
does
up
the
with
writing?
yeah, he writes the scripts. He comes up with the idea. He writes like the synopsis, the short script for whatever the show is going to be about, with all his ideas. And if it's a comedy variety special, all the costume changes and who's going to be doing what. He comes up with all of that.
Wow.
So I do more of the cameras and the lighting and the editing. And we have other editors too, but yeah. And I'm kind of more in the backdrop, but I do make guest appearances. I made one on this show that just came out.
Right. So before you guys moved over to Palm Beach, Florida,
Uh-huh.
you was upstate New York. That's where you guys were from. Or are you basically in England and upstate New York? When did you transfer over to Palm Beach?
Well, my dad was in the Air Force for 20 years, so I grew up an Air Force brat. So he was from Blackpool, England. And then my mom was from Kingston, upstate New York.
Okay.
So I lived over in England a couple of times, but I guess I was around 10 when we came back to the States, and they wanted to retire to Florida, so that we retired here.
Okay.
And I've been here, gosh, over many, many years in Florida.
I love Florida, Teresa.
Yeah.
It's the weather's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
we're here in Boston. It's the weather here is crazy. 1 minute is 60, the next minute is 30. But we get used to the weather here. But every time I go to Florida, I just don't know how to come back. And I love that place. Something water. I forgot the name of it. It's like near Tampa. It's
Clearwater.
Yes, I love
Clearwater.
that. Oh my
we went
goodness.
many years going over to Clearwater to martial arts events. Many, many years. Yeah.
That's an amazing place. I loved it. I went there. The water's clear.
Yeah.
It's a very, very pretty place. So how is it working with Danny?
Well, it's never boring.
I bet. I bet.
Yeah, he's just himself. He's naturally funny, just himself. I think that East Coast mentality, even
Right.
where all you guys are from, the sense of humor.
Yeah.
The people are, to me, just naturally funny, just joking with their friends and neighbors. You can just listen to a conversation and be laughing your ass off.
Right. And because I'm like that. Like I start a conversation, and right in the middle of it, I might say something funny.
Right. Right.
And it turns from a serious conversation to comedy.
Right. So he's just himself.
Right.
And I think that's what makes the show funny. And he's like most talent, a little eccentric. Most actors and actresses are,
Right.
but in a good way,
Yeah.
They're into what they're doing.
And who are some of the people that you guys are working with? I know you guys do Roku TV.
Yeah, we just hooked up with the Faces of Rap Mothers, Candy Struthers DeVore. She has they're doing a movie right now. They're filming it, Faces of Rap Mothers comedy movie in LA.
Okay.
But they now have a network on the Roku channel, Faces of Rap Mothers. So they're going to be putting all the hardcore cooking shows on there too. So it's just another platform where people can go and watch besides our own network, hardcorecookingnetwork.com.
Right. And where can people find your networks? On YouTube, Facebook?
Facebook, Instagram. We're not on YouTube. We have our own network, hardcorecookingnetwork.com. I've thought about having a YouTube channel, but we've been mainly trying to push our own network. It's becoming more popular, the hardcorecookingnetwork.com. And then we're on Facebook too. Right. All of the shows. Yeah.
That's great. So if someone wants to go, do you guys bring live guests to your show, or is it all virtual?
To our podcasts?
Yes, to your podcast.
Yeah, that's done more radio style podcast.
Okay.
That's on our MSA BTV network.
Okay.
We have the original show was Danny and Theresa Zaino's Martial Arts Radio Hour, and then we now have the Action Entertainment Hollywood News podcast. So
and
we
that's
bring on guests all the time. Yeah.
So that's every day, Monday through Friday. Like
you can listen 24/7. But how we do it is we schedule a show, we interview, it gets edited, and then it gets aired up on the network.
Okay.
And then we blast it out everywhere too, all over social media, because that's what we do. We're promoters too.
Right.
Yeah.
And what do you love about most of your being an agent, doing the cooking, doing the podcast? What do you enjoy more, or do you enjoy all of it?
I enjoy all of it, but I'd probably say doing the cooking shows like my favorite right now, because it's just so much fun. But I love meeting new people all the time and interviewing people. We've had on our other network, the MSA BTV network. We used to have our martial arts showbiz TV show. You can still go watch all the shows on there now. It originally started out as our whole family, kind of like a reality-based interview show. Okay. And then we transitioned into the Road to Hollywood shows, which we still do those shows. And we'll probably have a few more coming out, but we travel to different events and do interviews. And we've, done that for a long time. So, and even just the podcast, I enjoy doing that because I love learning about, different kinds of people and what they do. And it's very interesting.
I like it. Yeah. And that's why I do this podcast, because I love to talk to people, and I find it interesting that, a lot of us have so much stuff that's so familiar, acting and podcasting, but we all have different, opinions on things, and I like to hear different opinions on my guests and what they think about it, and just knowing them in general,
exactly,
personality and stuff like that. I'm always, that's always been big with me. I'm a people's people. So I think having a podcast was the best thing I did.
Right. It's a positive thing, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah. And just go ahead.
I would say that probably the most challenging things I do is being an agent, because it's hard to be an agent. To get people to follow the rules and do it right. Like even when people want to join your agency, a lot of times they don't do what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And so it's hard. You have to, correct them on that. And so it just, it's probably one of the harder things to do.
Right.
More of a challenge.
Right. Yeah. They got to follow some rules and stay on a certain role, you can't do this, you can do this, but you can't do that.
Well, they'll contact you wanting to, be a big star, so to speak, and then they, they don't want to do the suggestions that you tell them to do,
Right.
or that to help them.
Right.
So that can be difficult. I'm not saying everybody's like that. I'm just saying it happens a lot. So
Right.
it becomes somewhat of a challenge.
And it's a lot of hard work to become that next big star.
Right. People don't, that's it. They want it, but if you don't put the work into it, you get what you put, you get out of something what you put into it. And a lot of people, they don't want to do that, and
Right.
So then they wonder why they're not getting roles and stuff like that.
Right.
It's really hard to make it, but the entertainment industry has changed so much, from the golden days of Hollywood and the silver screen. There's still the silver screen, but there's mostly streaming now, Netflix,
Yes.
Amazon Prime, Hulu. I mean, some movies just go to there, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, this is the way the world is becoming. There's celebrities on social media. There's celebrities on the internet. I mean,
Yes,
the list
it's a
goes
change.
on and on. I don't know how many times I've flipped to, like, say, the Hallmark Channel, and there's a really excellent movie on there, and all the actors are excellent, but I've never seen them before.
Right.
And so it's just a whole different world today.
Right.
And you can make it as a star on social media and the internet. I really feel that way, and not go to the silver screen. I believe there's different types of celebrities and stars today.
Yes, I 100%. This technology changed the game.
Right.
It really changed it, where you don't have to go to Hollywood to become a star, like you said, or popular.
Right.
Going back to what you said, hard work. You stay consistent in what you do. You connect with the right people, and you put in the work, and eventually people start talking about you, and you start to meet people. And I always say, for me, I have to travel, right? If I want to get my show out there, if I want to get popular, like people say, if I want to do certain things that I want to do, I have to get out of my comfort zone and go and travel, and let people know what the Don Vic show is all about. Who am I? Who's my co-host? What we represent. To be able to get out there, and people have to understand that some people are lucky and can stay, in their spot and make it. But for most of us, we need to put a lot of work in. It's a lot of collaboration with people and connecting, and it's a lot of hard work. So that's what we do. I bring a lot of people on, guests on my show like yourself, and send it to you. You share it. You send me stuff. I share it, so people can get to know who you are, what your show is all about, your cooking show, anything that you do. You send it to us, and we promote it. That's what we both do. We promote, and that's the way of getting it out there. And I think that you guys are doing great. You guys doing so much. Especially you. Not talking about Danny. I'm talking about you.
We're done with him.
Yeah, we're done with Danny. Out the window. No.
So listen. So being that you guys do so much, what do you guys do on your downtime for yourself?
Yeah. We used to love to go dancing. We haven't done that in a while. Got to get back in the swing of that, because the pandemic, kind of crushed a lot of things. But I think everybody's getting back in their groove now. I feel that way.
I hope Michael Jackson doesn't come out of Danny when you go dancing around.
So what's some of the music that you love to dance to?
Oh, Pitbull.
Oh, you talking hip hop? Hey. Oh,
but I love disco, old school disco, and Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I can see you doing the moonwalk around the whole floor. Where Theresa go? She was just here. She's moonwalking out the door right now. Go catch her. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
But family time too. My kids are getting older, and I really enjoy hanging out with them and having family time. Life's short.
It is. It's short.
Yeah.
So do what you can to do today. Don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow is not guaranteed.
Right. I know.
Are your kids involved in any way as far as any acting or anything?
Well, I mean, they've done it all. They were stunt. They were all martial artists, black belts. They were in the stunt industry for a while with Kim Kahana. My daughter probably went the most towards it. She works for ESPN. But my boys did it all. You know, they're kind of finding their way right now out there in other areas. But they sure have a lot of experience. They've sure done a lot.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, you think they like more the acting part of it, or of what they're doing?
I feel like they're kind of natural. I don't know where that comes from. I think it comes from having to compete in the martial arts and being under pressure,
Right.
and kind of having to blank things out because you were competing and everybody was looking at you, and you kind of learn how to just, you know, get into your own zone, so to speak. So, I mean, like, I could have them come on the cooking show and it wouldn't be any big deal to them. They would
Right.
just kind of go with the flow and you know, joke and they're kind of comedic too. Our
Hey,
family is like that. They like to joke and tease and have a good time, you know.
you guys must be fun to be around. Your neighbors must love you guys when y'all have the cookout. Hey, let's go to Danny and Teresa's house.
Many a times we had Christmas Eve parties. My father-in-law, when he said he was alive, he's like, you got to invite all the neighbors, even the ones you don't like, because you don't want somebody calling the cops when you're right in the middle of having a good party. So if you invite everybody, they can't bitch. He was right.
That's right. Always invite those that don't like you because they ain't gonna go, but they ain't gonna call the cops because you invited them.
Well, we want to try to like everybody, but you know,
Right.
sometimes you have those neighbors that, you know.
Yeah, I
You have
get
to
it.
bite
I
your
get it. I get it. I get those neighbors all the time. Oh, what was you? Are you here? Oh,
all right,
I didn't see you there.
See the part of the comedian that he comes down a little bit, you know.
Right.
So your kids also know martial art? Are your kids were they?
Oh yeah, they've been doing martial arts since they're 3. You know, they're all kind of like not studying right now, but it's kind of like, you know,
it's like a bike. You know,
it's there. You know, I remember my daughter when she was in college. This is back in 2015. You know, she was doing more of the cheerleading in college for FSU. And hadn't done martial arts a lot because, you know, studying and everything. And then we go out to San Francisco to do a seminar, and we brought her along, and she was, you know, doing the bow, and it was, we just looked at her and we were like, oh my God, it's like she never stopped, you know. And I'll get that with my boys too. I have a bag hanging out in our studio, and they'll just come out there and start kicking and punching on the bag, and it's like they never stopped. You know, their techniques are still right there. I guess when you do something that much and for that long, it's, you know.
Yeah, you don't. It's like riding a bike. You know,
Right.
we rode bikes when we were little. We haven't rode them for 30 years. We get on it, and it's like we might get a little rusty at the beginning, but once we get like 20 minutes into it, we're back.
Right.
You know? So,
exactly.
Yeah. So I get it. You know. So what do the kids think about, you know, the show, the cooking show, and stuff like that?
Crazy Dad. No.
Yeah, you're right. Don't take it back. Don't take it back.
They're very supportive. They love the show. They watch all the episodes. They'll tell me their friends, which one of their friends, you know, a lot of their friends are fans of the show, you know.
That's awesome.
They wait for the next episode to come out. They just want to see, it's kind of like Howard Stern. They just want to see what he's going to do next.
Wow. What has been your most hilarious moment with Danny?
Hilarious moment on the show or on life in general?
We'll have a show, life. What has been the most hilarious moment that you have with Danny? Because I know he's funny, so I know you were like, "Oh, Danny, I'm embarrassed right now."
Oh, okay. You know, I probably, when I get off the show, I'm going to think of a million things, but I can't think right now. But one does come to mind when we went out dancing one night. He has a couple of pairs of dress shoes that are the same style but different colors. Mm-hmm. One was black and one was brown. So we're dancing on the dance floor, having the greatest time. And I look down at his feet, and he's got one brown shoe on and one black one. I was like, Danny, did you realize, he was just like, screw it. When everybody's, having a good time, everybody's, feeling good. They're not going to even notice, but it was kind of hilarious.
How
But I'm
funny
sure
is
there's
that?
way more ones I can think of, but I can't.
That's
think
so
of them right
funny.
now.
How funny was his that?
But the cooking show is always fun. Probably there has been a couple of times where maybe the recipe didn't come out so great for whatever reason or not. I think one time he made pizza and he forgot to put the sugar in it or something, or the yeast. He was like, why isn't this rising? And then we had to like completely refilm again. But the funny part is we're tasting it going, oh, this is absolutely delicious, And then when the show's over, you're like, wow, that didn't come out right, It's our secret, being like, it happens,
Yeah, but I love those moments because those
Yeah.
those are bloopers. We do bloopers, and sometimes we go back on the show and we be dying with some stuff that we say or things that happen on our show, and those are great moments. And I'm trying to like edit and get those blooper moments. So
oh, I know.
So
I totally get that because I never get rid of a lot of the footage because I don't know how many times I've thought I wasn't going to use something and went back and used it for something else. But, because you never know, even if it's like you don't use it in the sound, it just looks good.
Right.
But you come across footage like from several years back and it's hilarious and you forgot about it, and you're like sitting there just laughing your ass off.
Yeah. And, those are the clips that I love that I want to save and just put it like on a reel, like, one after the, just to have something to laugh about,
Right. Exactly.
Because those moments are precious.
I know.
Yeah. I have a question. So I was watching a couple of the videos. There's one that's called the Sausage and Peppers show.
Oh, that's the one we did in LA.
That's okay. Yes. Tell us what that's all about. How did that?
Yeah. So that was back in 2019 when we went out to LA because we're friends with Joycelyn Liu. She's a famous actress, Hollywood actress out there.
Yes.
And she was in the show Kung Fu, many movies. And she has her own cooking show called Cooking In with Joycelyn. And Kim Mara directs it and helps produce it. And so she invited us to come on her show. Danny said, well, I want to cook sausage and peppers. And they wrote up the script for it. It was great. Bill Perrin, he does magic. He came on the show. It was a great show. We had so much fun. Yeah. And doing it out there in LA. It was great. We want to go do it again.
Sausage and what else you have?
Sausage and peppers. Well, it's been quiet, but I've been going through some of them. You got the St. Patty's Day ones. You got this one here. That's why I've been focused, but I've been trying to go through these videos. Halloween show special.
Right.
So so every holiday you guys come up with a theme and you guys do a show on it.
Most holidays, yeah. Every year is a little different, and so last year we had a big St. Patty's Day special. The St. Patty's Day show special. So this year we just did corned beef and cabbage, but I threw in something from that show.
Okay.
Because I'm cooking the corned beef and I'm like,
oh, corned beef.
Look at the corned beef, boy. It reminds me of days gone by, and it goes into a memory of something from the show last year. So.
Ooh, you guys are crazy. What's your favorite holiday? What's your favorite holiday?
Oh, I have two favorite holidays: Christmas and Halloween. Christmas first, Halloween second.
Really? Why Halloween?
I just love to dress up.
Oh, I thought you said you like to scare people.
Scare people, yeah.
Some years I was scary, some years sexy. Whatever the mood is that you feel like being. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like Christmas. I like Christmas just when I ain't got to buy it anything. When I ain't got to give no gifts, I like it when I like it when I ain't got to buy no gifts.
I like giving gifts.
Yeah.
Better. Yeah.
That's crazy. So I'm I'm talking to you, but I'm watching your background. Starting the Zoni family, and you got some movies that are behind you. Are those some of the films that you guys have worked on or been in?
Yeah, well, this is a banner from our martial arts showbiz TV show. That's why it says starring the Zaino family, because when we originally started that show, it was starring our whole family. It was kind of like a reality based interview show, and more martial arts related.
Okay.
And so that's what that's from. And then the other banner is, the radio podcast. A lot of the people that we interviewed with the Danny and Theresa Zaino's Martial Arts Radio Hour.
Awesome.
Yeah. Originally, we started off on the Action Radio Network with Richard Hackworth. And that's how we got our start, to tell you the truth. And then we developed our own network. So
the network is only you guys' network, or do you have other people in your network? Like
it's our network, but we do have different partners, like Graham Slater with Kapow TV in Australia, with Richard Norton. You heard of Richard Norton, martial artist? They are like our partners in Australia. We've done some stuff with them. So we do deal with other people in the industry, but it's mainly our network. But it's always growing, so I can see it where other people are going to, down the road, more people will probably be involved in the network.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. What else would you like to do besides, the cooking and being kicking butt and
all the other stuff I do? I think it's enough, don't you?
And being an agent, agent. She got so much stuff. What else would you love to do?
I think I don't know. I'm happy with the way my life is right now. I'm happy with that. Every day is a new challenge. So you never know what doors are going to open. So, especially in this industry.
Right.
But I want to go on vacation.
You heard that, Danny?
Yeah, you heard.
She just threw that one out there. I want to go on vacation.
Yeah.
What are some of your hobbies? Some of your hobbies besides what you're doing? What you like?
Well, I mean, I like to work.
skiing?
I like to work out. Martial arts, obviously, but that became more of a career too. But I love to go on long walks. I just like to work out in general. It just makes me feel better. I like to dance. I'm artistic, as far as there's a lot of artists in my family. It came more out in me in digital design. So I like to do that. And I just now it's when I work really hard, I just like to play really hard or relax and just enjoy myself and watch a good movie and
Right.
hang with my family.
Right. What advice would you give anyone that's starting to get into the filming industry or podcasts? What advice would you give them?
You got to practice your craft. You got to research. You got to always try to do better. You got to be a go-getter. You can't just expect that it's going to come to you. You've got to work hard. And if your agent or manager tells you need to do something, you need to follow their advice,
Right.
And try to do that. And because it's an industry of you never know what's going to happen. You think you're going to get a job, it doesn't happen. You never in your wildest dreams would think you would get the one job that you just got now.
Right.
You got to eat, live, breathe the industry.
Right. Yeah. And your job is not easy as being an agent because you have to prepare them. You have to look for the work, you know, and it's not easy being an agent.
No.
You know, and these people need to understand. People need to understand in general that it takes time, and sometimes you want a job that you may not get it, or you just don't qualify for the job. You may not have the look, you may not have certain things. So, they need to understand that sometimes, because sometimes you can get a role and the role, you pick up the role and you get it, but you don't have that certain look that they want. So you might not get the role, or you might have the look, but you can't get your lines right. So you're right. You need to work. You need to learn your craft if that's what you want to do, and get it together. To get your roles, to get your parts, to get yourself out there. So
if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're willing to put the effort in and the hard work in, there's no such thing as failure. It's just finding a different way to do something, because everybody sees something different. So somebody might see you for that role, the other person doesn't see you for that role. Same thing with like competing. Sometimes the first place winner, I thought somebody else was way better, but whoever was judging at the time saw a difference. So you can't be hard on yourself like that. But if you don't give up and you keep working hard, eventually it's like that movie, something's got to give,
Right. What's your favorite dish?
Oh gosh. Italian something.
Hey, I love me some pasta, Theresa.
Linguine and clam sauce, I love. Yeah, a good lasagna.
I love lasagna. Yeah. Lasagna, spaghetti, meatballs.
Yeah, that.
Listen, any woman can win me over
I told
that.
Danny he should bottle his sauce,
Yeah, he should. Why not? That's a good idea, Theresa. Yeah. That's a great bottle of sauce, Danny, and send it over down to Boston to the Don Big Show so we can get some of that amazing sauce you guys put together. And I love the meatballs. Oh my God, the meatballs are just like when I do my meatballs, right? I don't know how you guys do them, but like after I marinate them and stuff, I put them in the oven. You guys put them in the oven and they come.
We do them both ways. Like
oh my God.
A lot of times on the show, he's done them in the oven because it's kind of easier. But personally, I mean, it's not as healthy, but I like to fry them.
You like to fry them?
I like them where they're really crispy on the outside, but moist and tender on the inside.
Oh my goodness!
With the pinoli nuts,
Yeah.
Fried meatball.
The pinoli nuts, which if you go to the grocery store, they go, what? They call it pine nuts.
Oh
so now God. I know, like when I go to the store, I look for pine nuts. Trying to tell, you have pinoli nuts, what?
Oh my goodness. You getting me hungry. You getting me hungry over here, Theresa. Food, please. Yeah. That's great. So, what are you guys working on right now at this present time? What's the plan?
Oh, well, we've got season 4 of Hardcore Cooking that we're working on right now. Okay. As far as that goes, that's the main thing that we're working on now. What we have a lot of stuff, in the background that we're working on too. The Road to Hollywood shows, our Born to Compete documentary. But mainly, I'd say, what's in the forefront is the cooking show right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, anything with food, I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it took off. It started really taking off in the pandemic.
Right. Well, I think the pandemic worked out for a lot of people like us that were getting into podcasting and shows online, because people couldn't go nowhere, so they were online or checking out what was going on online. So it gave us kind of a boost, to show what we were doing out here. And it's, I guess it's stuck because everybody's online doing all types of things, and
right,
people are logging in and watching. So that's great.
Yeah.
So Is there anything else you want the viewers to know about yourself?
Anything else?
Well, I think you did pretty good on hitting the nail on pretty much everything that I do.
Okay. Hey. So if any actor or actress needs an agent, how would they contact you?
They can call my agency line 561-270-5442. They can contact me at info@AE-talent. That's A for action, E for entertainment, aetalent.net. You know, they can go right there and contact me, and they can contact me on Facebook even, you know.
Right.
But usually I tell people, if you got to submit yourself to the agency, contact the email of the agency, and
they can reach you.
And they can reach me. Yeah.
Awesome.
To send in, headshots, demo reel, acting reel. Okay.
So yeah. Now I'm glad you said that. So tell them what you expect from them if they do reach out to you. What certain things are you looking for? Like the reels, headshots?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's just amazing to me. A lot of people don't have what they need. I'm shocked sometimes. They don't have a good reel. I mean, that's in everything going internet today. Like you were just saying, the first thing they say is, a lot of times the audition is online, and they'll be like, I need your actor's reel. And they don't have one, a good headshot. You don't have to get ripped off, but you don't want to go in your backyard and take some selfies. You want
professional shot.
It's like if you were in college, right? And the professor said you need this book and this book to pass the course, you would obviously buy the books, right? So I don't understand why they don't get a good headshot, have a reel. And then another mistake people make is that their reels are like way too long.
Right.
It should be like 63 minutes tops, but that's even too long sometimes,
Right.
1 to 2 minute reel. And it's hard. And then they do it themselves. And what happens when they do it themselves is they're too passionate about everything. So that's why they give me a reel. It's like 10 minutes long because they're wanting to put in, they need to give it to somebody else, a professional that knows how to do it, that's looking at it professionally, and they're going to pull out the best,
the best of it,
of what they feel you look best at, an action piece here, a serious piece here. That's the way they should do it. Pay to have a professional do it. Don't do it yourself unless you can edit really good, but still a lot of times you're too passionate about yourself, and you end up putting things in that, if it's too long, they're not going to look at. Like if your resume is too long, it goes to the bottom of the pile on the table. You have to get people's attention.
Right.
Yeah.
And have maybe a IMDb as well.
An IMDb account. Yeah.
Right.
And it's much easier to work IMDb since Amazon bought it. It was before that, it was like really hard, but there's people out there that can help you with that too if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Again, you're trying to get hired, so why wouldn't you spend some money on yourself?
Right. Yeah. That's a good point. Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself. Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't mean you have to get ripped off. Get 3 bids.
Right.
Like everybody else does with anything else. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I want to thank you, Theresa, for coming on the show. You're great. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
Mom and exclusive martial artist. No. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on you guys and see what you guys got going on. And remember, anything you guys need from us, we're only a text away. We want to help promote some of your stuff. Let us know.
Okay.
We'll do that. And maybe someday we can, maybe come on your show and
oh yeah, I'd love it. That's definitely going to happen. Yeah.
Hey. Hey,
I know we don't do it, so I had to do it this time.
Yeah, because his dad. See, you ever seen a Latino with 2 left feet? That's him.
Uh-oh.
He be dancing this way. Hey. But
Oh, it's his own style.
yeah, but I know.
Right.
Yeah,
We don't want to talk about his style. That's another segment.
yeah, he's awesome.
But thank you very much. We do appreciate your time.
Oh no, thank you guys. It was my pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And tell hi to the family. Tell Danny we love him over here, and he's always welcome to come back on the show anytime he feels like it.
Okay.
All right.
I'll
So
let him know.
thank you so much, and
Thank
we'll
you.
talk. We'll talk soon.
Have a good night.
Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.